Okay, for some reason it looks like my stream is not sized properly. Alright, give me a minute. I will be right back. Alright, I think that fixed it. I hope. Not a good way to start today's stream. I don't even have my tablets up. I had a problem getting online this morning. Don't need to see that. Don't need to see that. My tablets are finally showing that they're online, so I can get them turned on. We are in Salt Lake City this morning. Why is that not set to American truck? Okay, there we go. That is set. And I could have put us up here. Okay, why is that so loud? They're not cranked up all that far. Anyway, I got my tablets up. We got us a load picked. Oh, dang it. Hope we caught that in time. We have us a load picked. We are in Salt Lake City. We are headed to... we'll figure that out when we get there. Let's just get going, because we're already behind.
Drive safe.
We probably won't see much traffic today. Sunday morning, ATS, there's not many people on. Why do I feel like I'm crammed up on my steering wheel today? Been having a little problem on my... Oh, wow. Not sure why that's set down that low, but... That'll help some. I have a problem with my track IR. To the left, it doesn't do it, but to the right, it's like it, see that? It seems like it's determined that I'm leaning forward and turning my head right, and I'm not. So, I'm about to work on that later. I don't know why I'm worried about traffic. We're on multiplayer. Our load's right over here.
And then turn right. Turn right.
Hey, got my brakes working at least this time. See, we're ATS. We can do right turn on red.
Get ready to turn right.
Next week, I will be doing Euro Truck, or not Euro Truck, I'm sorry,
Right.
Elite Dangerous Space Trucking. I've not decided exactly what port. I'll probably start at Founders World. Just do some random jumping. There's a truck we're running today.
Here we are. Safe.
Here we are, as if I didn't already know. But thank you anyway. We are headed to Kingman, Arizona. Okay, give us a better default flashers. Now, yeah, what they give us is not all that good compared to what they have in Euro Truck, but maybe they'll get that updated one of these days. Don't forget Wednesday evenings, 7 p.m. my time, which is CST. We will be
Ready to roll.
truck 204. Oh, over here, which I believe we did Freightliner XL, Classic XL, last Wednesday evening. So we'll probably do a one of my one of the two trucks from Euro Truck that I drive. It's a 4 truck series. Oh, we gotta get our flashers on. There we go. I really need to put a beacon back here. Okay, that looks kind of odd, but oh well. And I gotta admit, gotta say it. How about them Chiefs? I mean, wow. That I gotta admit though, that was a good Super Bowl, guys and gals. Great Super Bowl,
Get ready to turn
made
right.
even better by my team winning. I have been a Chiefs fan for oh
Turn
man, I
right.
don't know how many years now. Been that long, and as long as they can keep the team as intact as they got it now, they're in good shape. There's already people predicting they'll be back next year. Me, I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that until I see how things play out as far as who's there next year. Should have did my truck up in Chiefs colors for today's run. Brakes feel kind of weird. Like, I don't know. There's been some stuff going on with my computer lately that I've not been able to figure out yet.
Get ready
I'm
to
about
turn
ready
right.
to unhook it and take it into the computer shop, let them run diagnostics on it.
Turn left.
Here I am on the verge of getting ready to do some major upgrades on my system, and now it's wanting to act up. And the wife's like, "Oh, just get you a new computer. You've had that one for a while." And she's right. I've had this computer for a little while, but I had planned on buying my sim seat and 2 more monitors at the beginning of next month. But if
Get ready to
I
turn right.
have to do some work on this computer, I mean, for the most part, it works okay, but it's having a few issues.
Turn right.
Hey, we got the green light. And I also know next month, unless it gets delayed, I think it's next month. I'll have to double check on that. I hope it's next month. I've been looking forward to that. Lone Echo 2, and I have been working on getting my setup, everything to work with BR. A little tricky getting everything to work because unless I order another headset for my Rift S, then I need to use the setup in the Oculus. But since Lone Echo 2 picks up right where Lone Echo, the original one, ends, I am going to do the whole series, starting with Lone Echo, the original one, from scratch, and do it all in a series all the way up to the beginning of Lone Echo 2. If I can get a release date, I'll pump Lone Echo 1 out really quick notice. Exit right. Yes, ma'am. All right, let's log some of these miles and get them in. 479 miles. I came close last night to ordering a new computer because there was a place where I bought this one's got one that for a really good price. And I was like, oh my goodness, 1,800 bucks. It's maxed out on RAM. Well, it's got 32 gigs of RAM. It's got I think it was a 2080, might have been a 2060 card in it, video card in it. It has the i9 processor. The only downside was it only comes with one hard drive, and that one hard drive is only a 1 terabyte, and that's got a whole Windows and the games, and it is an SSD, but I'd rather have 1 terabyte with my Windows and then a 2 terabyte backing up for my games. Okay, speed limit through here is 70. We can run 74. There we go. Just feels weird whenever I run multiplayer because of all the mods I got in my single player. Alright. Gotta be careful, make sure I don't dump this thing too. Oh, speed limit 75 now. I can run 79. Hit a couple trucks. I'm also considering, I think my spaceship in Elite Dangerous, I'm in the my one of my crates, my Explorer crate. I'm thinking I'm got a little more tweaking to do to get everything dialed in as far as with VR and that. But I solved the solution of it taking pictures every time I gave a vocal command. I kept trying to thinking it was my voice pack being set to the same button as the game, but they weren't. And I couldn't figure out what it was, and I realized, yeah, it's taking pictures, but it's not taking pictures through the game. It was taking them through Steam, so I had to change the command for the picture in Steam, and that solved that issue. And I flew around in VR with it for a little bit. That game is just wow. That's all I can say is wow. And here we are fixing to, we'll be getting carriers in the next couple months, hopefully. Oh, no, that's second quarter, ain't it? Getting my games confused. Sometime in the second quarter, we'll be getting the fleet carriers. Then the end of the year, a big paid DLC, which is supposed to change the game for everybody. So I hope so. That game has so much potential, and just everybody's starving for content in it right now because they're stretching it out and saying, well, we're putting everything on hold as far as content until we finish this big paid DLC that everybody's going to love. So, oh, it's getting kind of hazy ahead of us here. But I want to get in there and start playing it more. Might actually do next Sunday's Sunday morning trucking, because it's going to be hauling tons of cargo in Elite Dangerous. We might try to do that in VR. We'll have to see. That'd be a change. Sunday morning VR session. Then, let's see, the week after that is let's see, we did last week, we did Euro Truck. This week we're doing this one, ATS. Next week, Elite Dangerous. We could do, I have a train simulator that hauls freight. We'll see. I'll figure it out. We'll just keep ourselves planned 1 week ahead. So far, next week, Elite Dangerous. If you've never seen that game, come in here next Sunday morning. That's something else too I'm considering. I have some friends that, as I am streaming this, I'm also recording. So let's go on to an external drive right now. I got some friends that sit and watch it off that external drive when I take it to their house later in the week. And that's just because they can't get in here Sunday mornings because they're at church with their family, and I understand that. I probably should be too, but Sunday mornings I don't want to move. But we're rolling these miles off fast. We're at 293 already. Look how dead these roads are. This is the only downside about playing multiplayer is Euro Truck, it wouldn't be so bad. You'd see other traffic. There's a lot more players in there. American Truck, like back there, we saw those two on the side, sitting on the side of the road. There was only, I think, like 60, a little over 60 drivers on the whole server when we came in. If that many, I can't remember for sure. Man, I just cannot get woke up today. This is a little crazy, people. We're not that close to a city to be slowing us down like this. Come on, let us go. Oh yeah, do I have, yeah I do. Make sure I had live in my tag. Hopefully we can get out of this speed limit thing here pretty quick. Ah, coffee. There we go. Now the speed limit is 80, so we can get there quick. We might actually have time to do 2 loads. I really hope I can diagnose what the problem is with the computer, because as I said, my plans were to add the other 2 monitors onto the system, get my sim seat, and I was going to get I don't know if it'd be a GoPro or what. I was gonna do some research on that. Oh, we're capped at this speed, so. And get it set up to where it would look over my shoulder towards the front. Now, cause upgrade, I'm not worried about making money off of these videos. I don't want to. That's not what I'm doing it for. And there's people that, and shame on them, but I already know 2 people that's made a comment that I shouldn't do this. I'm not gonna get anywhere, and I'm already doing what I wanted to do. I have a grandson that I don't see that often, and he gets to watch these when, that's why I record on the side. And then technically he's not a grandson, technically. I'll be honest up front there. I claim him as a grandson. So, a little old to be one of my grandkids, but I don't care. But at the end of the day, I zip it up and send it to him. And another speed limit. I understand why they cap the speeds in the cities, and then these routes, coming through a town like this, it just caps you up here, but I wish I could change that up. There's some in Euro Truck that are the same way. I think down by Barcelona on the Pro Mod server, you drive forever with this cap speed. Port of entry. But we may have to pull over up ahead. Yeah, should have known. And I am still working on the Silent Night videos that I do. I am working on drastically to get um yeah, Mrs. Night, so that I don't have to talk, because Silent Night I don't talk, and I am trying to get her to sit down and read the chat and talk to people. So we'll see about that. I'm still working on her. I'm getting her there. Her exact words was, "You're trying to use me." No. I'm just trying to include her. Hello, Arizona. Whoops. Man, I hope it's something simple on my computer, because I wanted those. I found the sim seat I wanted at a price that I could tolerate. It's gonna cost me around 800 bucks, but it was going to double as my driving seat and my flight seat. If I had to buy another computer, which by the time Flight Simulator comes out, if I had to buy another computer, I'll still have time to, okay, why is my, what I thought, my cruise control kicked off, which is fine. Probably a good thing it did, some of these sharper turns. But I want to buy an actual flight yoke system for Flight Simulator coming up. That's why I've been working so hard in VR. I want to be ready. I still suffer from motion sickness, vertigo, whatever you want to call it. I actually suffer from that in the real world, so VR is really, really tough. I can do games like Beat Saber, things like that, no problem. Arizona Sunshine, I play it in VR. Wow, look at that airplane lagging. Like he's on an 8mm camera. Holy smokes. I wonder if that's because of the snow. Yeah, they're usually nice and smooth for me. And depending on the weather, now that plane's smooth. They're having a down in Kentucky next month. I think it's next month. I'll have to go double check.
Exit right.
SCS is going to be there. I thought about actually going down there, and
Turn
it'll be the
left.
first time I've actually done something like that tied into the gaming world. Oh, I gotta kill the mic a second. Hold on. Sorry about that. My cold is just about over. I've been lucky this year so far. Knock on wood, which would be my death. Thank you. Um, with all the flus going around and the more deadly stuff, which there's some here in the States, just not as much as some countries. Fortunate
Go
for us.
straight on.
Whoa. Wow, I'm sorry, they didn't give me a ticket.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
I see, we're good on fuel.
Turn left. Go straight on.
Man, I wish I'd be paying a bit better attention to the lights. Hey, on the good side, I actually remembered to turn on truck smoke this morning.
And
So
then
this load.
left.
Yeah, we'll turn. So I'm actually, ow, what the heck? Well, that's not good. 6% damage. Dadgummit. That's not cool. According to the tablet, it was all on the truck, not the load. Oh, we got 1% on the load. Dang it. Alright, let's get out of here and get this load down here before we get more damage on it. Actually got to see somebody else. That's 3 trucks we've seen today.
You know my truck thing?
Okay. Not sure what he said, but okay. Oh. I think we might want to slow down a little bit. Speed limit's only 65 here. That means we can do 69. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but man, I am so ready for spring. Could not believe it. A few days ago, it was 68 degrees. I pulled the bike out of the garage, got to take me a ride. That felt so good. Even though I'm a little concerned because I've got a knee that's been acting up, and I'm gonna go get it checked out, but in certain circumstances it might be a little bit dangerous on my motorcycle with my knee the way it is. I try to plan ahead and make sure that I'm able to put my good leg down when I come to a stop. But we all know how it is when you ride a motorcycle. You cannot plan 100% of the time. And honestly, I think I know what it is. I think a few years ago, actually it's more than a few, it's been, oh, 10 or so years ago. Really? Actually, it's been over 10 years. It's been probably closer to 15. I was riding a dirt bike in the woods, and it was getting dark. I had a headlight, but the wife did not on the little bike she was riding. So we were trying to get out of the woods and get back home. And I got ahead of myself and went around a corner, and I wasn't thinking about, I'm not a dirt bike rider, I'll admit that. Went around a corner on grass, and the bike, it started to slip, and I went to put my leg down, foot down to just kind of steady myself like a dirt bike rider would. And the foot peg somehow, there was a rut, I got the front tire in, the foot peg grabbed the ground and spun the bike around. And my leg was planted when it done it, and it pulled my knee in a position it was not supposed to be in. It took me, I'd say probably 20 to 30 minutes for it to actually be able to settle down enough pain-wise for me to stand back up, and then I couldn't put no pressure on it. I had to walk with a cane for a couple weeks. Ever since then, I have problems out of it every once in a while. Oh, dang it. What is going on? I think my brakes are set a little bit too soft yet. I might want to downshift here. I'm one of them people. I'm not concentrating. I'm talking too much and not paying attention to my driving. There we go. Get going here. I think that's what happened to my knee, so we'll see. I've actually already called the doctor. I'm going to get it looked at. Make sure there's nothing. Because as a rider, the last thing I want, every rider has that same mentality. Okay, we want to get out, ride safe, I know some riders that are not very defensive, they get aggressive on bikes, but I'm a defensive rider. Every vehicle I see coming up to a crossroad or cross street, I assume they cannot see me.
Exit right.
And I've got my hands and feet in position to where I can avoid at the last second if I need to.
Turn left.
Yes, ma'am, we will. And just having that mentality on a motorcycle has saved me, I don't know how many times now. I think the closest call I came on a bike was, the lady looked right at me. I mean, we made eye contact and she pulled right out in front of me anyway. I was on a 4-lane highway. Now two lanes on each side with a median in the middle. And something told me that she was not looking at me, but she basically looked right through me. Pulled right dead square out in front of me, and I was on it, and I thought for sure I was going to hit her. But at the last second, the bike, at progressive braking, but I was already starting to stand up to launch myself up over the top of her car, over her hood, because of where she stopped.
You have arrived at your destination. Your route guidance is now finished.
There we go. We might have time to get another short one in if we get this turned in and get it done. Alright, let's see if we can find something else really quick that's short. Oh, we can't do those. Oh, there's a quick one to Phoenix. We'll do that.
Time to hit the road.
For those of you that play the trucking games, if you've got an extra tablet laying around, and no, I'm not being paid to promote this, it's just a luxury that I found in addition to my gaming. Well, that thing's sticking out there. They don't want me to get out of here, do they? Sim dashboard. And you can download templates, whatever you want to call them, that other people have made for these games. And I'm using a gauge cluster on one tablet and a button box on the other one. Makes it really nice. The button box, I mean, the one I want to have is, got another driver coming up the road there. They're going on by. The one I actually want is an actual button box. I would love to have that. I thought I was going to get it, but it all depends on what's going on with my computer. If I got to buy a new one, then that sets everything back. All my upgrades gets pushed back for more than a few months. I have some other expenses coming up in the real world that's got to be taken care of. Now, I know it's not the speed limit, but we'll hurry up and get up there.
Exit right.
And I hope my puppy has not made any noises back here that bothers anybody.
Turn right.
It's almost like she's laying in a sleeper. When I'm doing this, we got a little, not a little, it's a good sized kennel right here to my right and behind me a little bit. I put her in that because she's a puppy. I mean a real puppy. Young enough that if you're not paying attention, she's running around. If there's even a speck of dust on the floor, she sucks it up in a heartbeat.
Turn left.
headed to Phoenix. Trailer's over there.
Ready to roll.
Alright, 219 miles. We'll knock this out pretty quick.
Go straight on. Turn left. Keep right, and then
Alright, get to the edge, get up on the big road, and I can
turn
not have to
right.
focus so much. Man, I wish they'd allow us to have our own sound mods in here. I kind of miss my Creech Bomb sound pack. Especially when I get in here. It gets so quiet. Hold on. Yes, I'm on multiplayer. Doing my last load. Nope, I did not watch any of the XFL.
Exit
And it's
right.
not that I have anything against it, just I need to, yeah, I need to watch some of it to see if it's any good. It's like, yeah. It's just, when you get too many of the same thing going on, it just, I don't know. It's like the AEW in wrestling right now. Now, I watch some of it, I just can't get into it. You know, it's unfortunate because I know a lot of those wrestlers. I mean, obviously, I mean, the roads and all those. Now, Moxley slash Ambrose. I wish WWE would have done him better because he deserved a. There's a lot of wrestlers in WWE that deserve better storylines. Oh, we're hot rodding again. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I first started watching wrestling, it was back in let's see, it would have been Mid South with the Von Erichs and Ted DiBiase, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I've been a fan of wrestling for a long time. But back in those days, they seem to build the rivalry up better. Nowadays, they got a rivalry with this wrestler going on with this wrestler this week, and a couple weeks later, it's somebody completely different. It's hard to get vested in a storyline if they don't stick on it very long. Yes, I did see that. I don't know how they're going to write that out, or how it's going to end up. Although, realistically, Goldberg is a legend. But realistically, there's been a lot of wrestlers that's went up against Bryant. Or, not Daniel Bryant, damn it. I can't think this morning, folks. But, yeah. There's been a lot of wrestlers go up against him. And the Fiend is just... I mean, look at that strap match. Everything that was done. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to be hopefully a good match, but I don't see them giving the Goldberg the belt. I just don't see it. But we'll see. And I'm sorry for those of you that can't see the chat, just because that chat's coming across my phone, because I have a person that lives close by and he taps into my feed locally. So it's weird how all this stuff is going on. And dude, I don't even know how you did that. I mean, I know it's like an NVIDIA Shield thing, but I don't know anything about that stuff. We gotta go around the roundabout here.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Keep left.
Look at that curve. Sharp enough that I had to roll off of it to stay in my lane. And out 5 mile an hour below the speed limit. Do I plan to go to the Dragon this year? If I do, it will be in June. I'm hoping if I do, I'll have the GoPro and stuff by then. Because I'd love to film the whole ride on the Dragon. And for anybody that sees this video later, yes, I understand the Dragon is, some say overrated. I just want to go there so I can ride it, get me a t-shirt. And then there's a lot of other roads down there that are just as beautiful and fun to ride on without all that traffic. But I want to have the GoPro and all that, so that way I'll be able to film it all. Maybe do a little video on it. Now the wife keeps telling me I need to record some of my extravagant camp setups. And she doesn't understand. It's been a couple years since we went camping, but she remembers those camps I used to set up. Very extravagant as far as camping. But then again, I'm the type of person, when I do go camping, I'm not going just overnight or a couple nights. I'm going to be there for a week or two if I go camping. Oh, we got a truck ahead of us.
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
Alright, I know it's not a green arrow, but we're going to do it. We might see a few more players up here. They seem to congregate around Phoenix. Well, Phoenix and Tucson. Not sure why. But I understand not every player in this game has all the DLCs, so one of these days we'll have to go to the racetrack and have some shenanigans. Yeah, I'm still yawning. And here it is, yeah, after 11. I was gonna try to catch up to, oh, he's turned, okay. And of course they can't hear me because I'm under the wrong bridge, but oh well. This is kind of the reason why I wanted to get that other button box. It has a microphone attached to it that was 4-pin, and I was told any 4-pin Cobra mic would fit on it and work. And I have, it's classified as an echo, but it's more, you know, it's reverb. So that way when I keyed up, I would sound like I do on the CB, like an actual truck driver. I still am. I have a radio set right there that I don't even turn on anymore. Of course, that got its own reasoning. Living in town, neighbors get a little bit out of shape when you key up a radio too close. Even when it's tuned legal, but they don't understand. If you get a CB radio, you can tune that, set your modulation. It's not necessarily the power that gets the distance. You get a radio peaked and tuned just right, and I've got, holy smokes, I've got modulators, I've got kickers, I've got all kinds of stuff, and I do just as good Although I do like modulators, but I do just as good with. I got a radio sitting in a box in the other room that has been tuned. Dead keys 4 watts. Modulation swings a little bit more when you modulate, but dead keys 4 watts. Modulation's about 60%, and I've got a an echo mic
Turn
on it,
right.
and I don't turn it up really loud, just enough that it boosts the voice, and I shoot skip with that thing, set flat, straight, set up like that, and I've talked all over the United States on it. Of course, it also helps that I had the last time I used it when I was doing that, I had a car that I didn't really care much about. I literally took the magnet mount off of it and put a trunk mount that
Finally.
so you drill a hole through the trunk, and I drilled a hole right through the roof of the car and planted it, grounded it made it like a gigantic ground plane. Come on, there we go. Could have actually made that load a little longer. All right. Oh, race emergency brake. All right, let's look on the map and see where we're at. I think it's up here. Yep, there it is.
Time to hit the road.
Go up, park it to the. Well, first I'll go get the truck repaired and and park at the service center. Don't need those no more.
Turn left.
Don't forget, next Sunday it will be Elite Dangerous. And I'm going to try to get my VR dialed all the way in. Like this morning, that's why I had to shut the stream down and restart it, because I had been working on the VR setup, and when I came into the trucking game, my view was not fit to the screen. It was super zoomed in. I'll have
Turn
to
right.
make separate uh, what do they call those sources. I'll have to make sources for each specific game, so that way I don't have to keep jumping back and forth like that. I gotta remember as soon as I get out of here to go and delete that short minute or so, or 30 seconds or so of video. Hold on, I'm trying to read it. Yeah, I'm gonna go up here and pull off and park
Turn left.
after I repair the truck. Really, you do realize it's raining outside.
Get ready to move
Yeah.
out.
Just
Turn
remember to
right.
crack your garage open while you're working it when you got it running, so that way. I hope you get it running. It'd be nice to get out and get some riding in together.
Get ready to turn right.
Dude, I don't care. Look, when I started riding, I didn't have a nice bike.
Turn left.
And I mean, yeah, I rode a Honda 350 Scrambler for a number of years, and I rode with a buddy of mine that had his Harley. People laughed at me, but hey, you know what? The ones that were laughing at me, they didn't even have bikes. They were
Go straight
driving
on.
freaking cars.
This is where it ends.
Oh, I thought I'd get in close enough. I wouldn't have to do that. Hey, there we go. Get our repairs done. All right, remember next week, Elite Dangerous. Oh, actually, I would have hit him, but oh well. Elite Dangerous, Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. CST, or 7 p.m. CST. I will be Euro Truck, driving truck number 204, first truck in Euro Truck. I run four mods, four modded trucks, and single player two in each game. And there's four that I run consistently, so I'm highlighting those mods. But I've added like rim and tire mods and things like that, sound mods. So I thought, why not? We'll do the my four trucks that I run all the time. And some people are gonna be surprised. I already did the first American truck mod truck, and that was the classic XL. And I like that truck. I just wish some modder would get a hold of it and do it a little bit more justice. One I've got, there's several of them out there. I need to check out some of the others. But people are going to be surprised. I know somebody already told me that they thought it was kind of funny that the two ATS trucks wasn't uh, Aerodes Volvo and Viper's Pete. So they were surprised that the XL was the first one I did. So they need to stick around and let's see, wrong button. See what the second truck's going to be. Then the two I've chose that I run for Euro Truck. One is a given. The other, maybe not so much. But hey, I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Until next time, stay safe out there. Remember, it's still nasty in some areas, snow and slick spots. We don't want you to have to get into those wrecks and things like that. So be careful when you're out there running around. Y'all take it easy. Catch you next time.